because we only need to be doing what we need to be doing, and therefore only outworking who we are in our identity. But we know enough to start legislating for peace and legislating for transition and bringing love and bringing enlightenment and helping people find the true nature of God. We know enough to be part of this process and part of this progressive unveiling of truth and be light to the world. I think we know enough. We may not be operating in the councils of heaven or various galactic things or all sorts of stuff that's going on.
Yeah.
But we can do our bit. We can be our bit, really. It's being who we were always supposed to be, which will bring about the change. And that doesn't mean I need to know everything. I don't need to know everything. If I tried to find everything, I wouldn't be able to even contain it, would I? So I just need to know what my bit is. And if that is to help other people, then have some way of giving some discernment to help other people see maybe where they are and where they can find their own path in it, which is the key. We don't want superstars who are we want people doing this who are unknown, who are not looking for the fame or are not looking for the fortune. They're not looking for their ego. They're happy to be unknown, working behind the scenes, not telling anyone what they're doing, but doing it all the same, because that is their part. And yeah, there may be some faces of people who are part of this that can inspire others and everything else, but it's those that are unseen who are doing most of the work, actually. And those who have been around for hundreds of years in caves and other places, who are part of the desert fathers, whoever you want to call them, or the ancient, who are continuing to and as more and more people become enlightened in that sort of way and are not dying and are beginning to continue and not just be here for 70 or 80 years and then having to start again. They continue. But there will be people who right now are hundreds of years old that no one will know. They don't know where they are. They don't know what they're doing, because they're not there to be known. They're there to function as a consistent voice and a consistent outworking of God's kingdom in love, and that's how God does it most of the time. When you had Elijah and it's, oh, woe is me, I'm the only one. God says, what do you mean you're only one? There's 4,000 of them over there. It's like, it's sort of, God is always at work. And if we just cooperate with him and outwork through who we are, then we'll be part of this whole movement to change and bringing about God's kingdom on earth as it is in heaven. If you enjoy these videos, would you please take a moment to like, comment, and subscribe? It really does help. Thank you very much.